Hello, hello. Welcome back to an episode 2 of Live, Let, Thrive. I'm Steve.
And your co-host, Myka.
Co-host. You keep calling yourself my co-host like I'm running the ship or something. That puts a lot of pressure on me, man.
The man running the show, man.
Yeah, I got the mics and the cables, so yeah, I'm running this show.
There you go, man.
So yeah, this is Live, Let, Thrive. This is a podcast about the Airbnb life, everything about Airbnb, but also about just like, short-term rentals in general, maybe even long-term. Maybe we dip into real estate. It's about making a buck with what you got. Well, that sounded bad, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go, man.
So yeah, man, this is episode 2. The first episode I thought went pretty good, hopefully, and people.
You're going to hop in this show and kind of tell them the meaning of our podcast name.
Oh, yeah, the podcast name. See, my co-host is doing his job over there. I thought we were coming up with names, and one of them was like the Airbnb guys, and then we get into like some legal stuff, doing stuff like that, calling ourselves, putting their name on us,
No, sir.
No, sir. So I don't know. I just came up with live, let, thrive. Because the word let, I guess in Europe or England, when someone has a room out of their house, they're gonna rent out. They put a sign out front and it says room to let, and that means room to rent. And so I thought,
taught me something there.
Kind of like a little play on live and let die. Live and let die. But I thought live, let, thrive. Maybe I should call it live and let thrive. But no, this is live. So, drop my mic. so you live your life, and the let comes in. Maybe you rent out whatever, you're a space or whatever, the share economy going on, and thrive, Yeah. Live a good life and just on doing Airbnb or whatever you're doing, your side hustle, and just enjoying life.
Yeah, that's a really creative name, because especially the let part.
Oh yeah, the let. Yeah, because I thought that was cool how they say, we have room to let.
Room to let.
Room to let. Hey, you do a good accent, man. And so we just doing a little freestyle podcast right now. We don't have any particular parameters or anything. We're trying to get our footing. So you're going to, by episode 50, if we make it that far, or 100, you're going to look back at these and kind of like, I can't even listen to the early episodes,
Yeah,
but
they sucked.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Ep 100? I know y'all are kicking our butts over here, but, we're trying, all right? Talking to the future over here. But things we love. I love podcasts. I listen to the heck out of podcasts. I love Airbnb, the whole concept of Airbnb, and you're a podcast junkie too, right?
I'm a huge podcaster, man. I love listening to podcasts because I have a 2-hour drive to work every day. So
a commute.
Yeah, the DFW commute. So I definitely listen to podcasts, man. It makes the day go by way faster. It makes that time fly.
Right. Yeah. And it's just it does, and you learn a lot. And I'm like I'm thinking while I'm driving, I listen to a lot of real estate podcasts, and while I'm driving, I'm like, man, I wish I should be taking notes because there's so much good stuff. But then I'm driving, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah. But I think it seeps into my brain.
Yeah.
Anyways, just hearing these things over and over. And I was telling you off the mic earlier, I was like, the only thing about just straight real estate podcasts.
Yeah.
If you don't get an interesting guest, I mean, they're all kind of interesting, their stories, but then they always get into the nuts and bolts. Okay, how did you do this deal? Okay, I bought this apartment complex. I went in with some people, we paid $1 million. We put in, they start going all the numbers. And I just I've heard these the nuts and bolts, the stories, the numbers so many times. I just kind of zone out,
Yeah.
And then when I finally snap out of it, I'm like, crap! What did I almost cuss? Oh crap! What did I miss on this this podcast? So I gotta go back and check it out. But so we're trying to, I'm just starting out in real estate, so I'm not the smartest dude on it. I can't sit there and go on Bigger Pockets and tell my my story in detail, and this is what I'm doing.
We're not going to sell you the guru stories. Yeah, definitely not one of those, man.
I got a turnkey for you. You want to buy one?
Yeah,
they got those turnkey guys on there now. But and you've been doing it for a little while too.
I think that's what people want. They want the beginners. You know what I mean? The ones who are kind of in the same boat as them. You know?
Right. We're all figuring this out together. And but I like to hear, of course. I guess Grant Cardone jumped on one time, and that was
like
just
to hear the experienced ones as well. Yeah,
and he didn't even get into the nuts and bolts really of a lot of his deals, but I've listened to that episode probably like 5 times. I just thought he's hilarious, and he gets you motivated. I know he's spitting all this, fire at you, and you're just like, oh man, I want to go buy an apartment complex tomorrow. How do I do that? I just knock on, hey, y'all selling this apartment complex? I don't.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, that's what Bigger Pockets does. A lot of real estate podcasts, man, they just get you amped up. It's actually really good to listen to. It's high energy. It gets you amped up about it. That's how I got into Airbnb, man. Once they got me hyped up about it, I was like, forget it. I'm going to go in full circle. They always say the best way to learn is to do it. Just like we're doing with the podcast. Best way to learn, just do it.
Just do it. They say ready, fire, aim. Is that what this expression is?
Yeah. You're ready, fire, aim. There you go. Just do it.
And that's a great way to. And I was listening to another podcast, unrelated. I listened to Tim Ferriss' podcast, the 4-Hour Workweek guy, and he was saying they were doing a thing on this. I don't know, this big dude in Silicon Valley that's done all these startups. He's been there with all the big companies, and he helps shape them and mold them and IPO them and all that stuff. I don't even know the dude's name, but one of the things he was saying that he tells someone's got a great idea and they're trying to take it to the next level, but they're doing all the research, they're doing all the planning, all this stuff to release the next product, to the next thing, the next part of it, and he encourages them. It's good to release imperfect things. Like, don't wait till it's perfect to release it. You want to release something that's imperfect out there. Let's say Facebook does something new, like the memories thing or whatever. And at first, I don't want to see. I don't care what I did 2 years. Now it's kind of interesting. But they released it and it was imperfect. People complained and everything, but by the feedback, they were able to shape it into something really cool, And that's what he encourages companies do. And I was like, we didn't have. I guess we were talking about doing show notes and not show notes, but planning the shows out and this and that, and even I guess one of the topics, because we were using notes on iPhone, right? Yeah. And one of the topics that I put on there was about how to get the wives on board with Airbnb in your place. And you started going off and started texting me. When I told her this and she saw the money, I was like, save it for the cast, man.
Save it for the cast. You're right. And as soon as I sent it, I'm like, dang it, I should have waited up for the podcast. Been good.
So I was like, we just because spontaneity. People
spontaneity.
People like that.
Yeah, because this is a few things I wanted to mention, but then I'm like, save it for the podcast. Like when you're writing things out, I'm like, I got some stuff for that.
Some stuff for that. Right. But you didn't get the hotel motel Holiday Inn. Let me talk about that the next show. So anyways, we're going to talk about some things. I don't like to say the topics beforehand. I mean, you might say a couple of them you want to go over. I don't want to read a whole list. These are the 10 things we're going to touch, because then if we don't touch them, then there'll be pissed off people out there blowing up my phone because I left my damn cell phone number out there. But so how you been since last week?
Good, man. Been good. I actually got hit up about someone trying to rent out the entire upstairs of my house. That was pretty cool.
Dang.
Yeah. So hopefully this guy books it. Once I seen the payout for it, I was like, oh yeah, I hope this guy books it. So for those of you that don't know, with my house, I have 2 private rooms upstairs that I rent out. But what I did was I kind of got creative and I turned it into one listing. So you can choose to rent out one room, or you can rent out the entire upstairs of my house. So
nice.
This dude wants to rent out the entire upstairs. And
so how much do you charge up each listing?
Starting out, my rooms, I charge $30 each for each room. Right. And then for the entire upstairs, I charge a minimum of $60. So just the 2 rooms combined.
Okay.
But what I recently did was I started using Beyond Pricing. and I put the minimum for each room to 30, and they'll just up it from there. It's kind of better than Airbnb's smart pricing, man.
Yeah, I heard their smart pricing prices it pretty low.
It's pretty bad.
Is it?
Like Beyond Pricing at least kind of looks at certain events.
Yeah.
But it raises it like $7-8, you know.
Okay.
Their prices aren't kind of good for like concerts, because like Justin Bieber's coming here in 2 weeks and they got my rooms priced at like $35. I'm like, oh, come on. I know the Bieb's gonna bring somebody in.
Now, can you jump in and reprice it with what they have if you think it's too low?
Yeah,
okay.
I can always go in and readjust it.
And they charge a fee to do that?
I heard they take out 1%. But
okay.
I will see when my first guests check in 2 weeks if they really do take out 1%. So we'll have to see.
Okay, cool. So they can rent out both rooms, 30 each. I was thinking, right when you were telling me the pricing, I was thinking, well, if they want to rent the whole thing to themselves, I thought you might charge it maybe $70 just to make it a little bit more.
That's the thing. My minimum price is $60, but like with Beyond Pricing, they'll like price it at $65, $70. You know what I mean? Okay. That's just my minimum price. Because if you don't set a minimum price, they might rent out your entire space for $20, man. So, yeah. So you got to be careful with that. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
And what else is new, man? What else is new in your Airbnb world?
Man, just that and getting some bookings. I'm supposed to be a Superhost July 1st.
Oh,
so
congratulations.
Hopefully that comes around.
Superhost.
A
lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is. I've heard some horror stories about Superhost, man. I heard you start getting those, those kind of in-your-face guests, like how you're saying the in-your-face host.
Oh, the French fries, yeah.
Yeah, you start getting the in-your-face guests, can I get some French fries? You're going to make me some breakfast and all that crap, man. So
I did look at your listings when you sent them to me, and the reviews, and you got great reviews, and one guy put on there, oh yeah, they were great, and they hung. It felt like I was hanging out at someone's house, kind of like a laid back situation. And by the way, his wife makes the best lasagna. It's like,
yeah, that was a really good. That was a good help, because my wife, she was cooking and they came down and she's like, "Hey, you want some lasagna?" Because my wife's a really good cook, and that dude just kind of fell in love with the lasagna down there. Man, he had like 2 or 3 bowls. Like, "Hey, man, I need something for lunch tomorrow." But he was a pretty cool dude, man.
So it wasn't a lie, because we went to out to eat with y'all a few days ago.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, Myka, and his wife Mahogany, right?
Yeah, Mahogany.
And then we went to an Italian joint, and then and so I think you had the lasagna, right?
Yeah, I had the lasagna.
She's like, she asked, "Is it better than mine?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "No, of course not."
Of course not. Yeah. I know the right answer.
Oh yeah. So that was pretty cool, but so. In my world, I'm still trying to close on that South Padre Island condo, man. We're past I guess when you close, let's say you close on a house, you get 30 days to close, and we're way past that. Well, a couple weeks past it. Okay. And so their hang up is still the flood. It's in a flood zone. It's on a beach. Of course, it's and they got flood insurance, and the condo associations says they have plenty of, they got the right coverage, and Wells Fargo doesn't think so, and they want them to pay more, and so they're still going back and forth on that.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. I'd like to go ahead and start.
Yeah.
Because I can, like I said, it's a 2-bedroom furnished condo. It's on the 3rd floor in South Padre Island.
You're lucky it's furnished, man.
Yeah. Big screen. It's nicer
perfect.
than my house. It's a nice place. I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
And 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And it's really nice, and they got a big screen, they got cable, internet, everything, and nice big balcony. I love balconies, dude. I love balconies. I need a balcony, and so and that's our plan. Me and my wife, we're gonna use it for when we want to use it, and Airbnb it out the rest of the time.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to jump into that already, but we're just got to be patient, man.
Yeah, man. Yours sounds like a full blown timeshare, so I'm pretty sure once you get it, man, it'll do good.
Oh, cool. And you're going to help me along the way, being the guru that you are. He's a guru.
Not the guru, man. Definitely not the guru. Don't want to put that pressure on yourself.
Send $99.99 to Myka, and he'll get you started on your Airbnb experience.
That's coming in the future. Definitely coming in the future.
So yeah, I mean, any topics you wanted to go over today?
Yeah, and that's what I also want to talk about. You being a good host, man. What makes a good Airbnb? A lot of people sometimes, unless it be people who are used to being a landlord, they sometimes stay in that landlord mindset of being controller of the house. But you have to sometimes realize you're in the hospitality business now. It's no more that, hey, do this, don't have people at the house, driving by the house. You know what I mean? It's more being hospitable, you know? And like how you were saying about the reviews, like me and my wife, like we had to like really work hard for the reviews at our house because we were kind of nervous at first, like, oh, did we forget anything? Like our first guest at our house, we kept going up to them. I know they were kind of probably getting annoyed with us. We were like, hey, if you need anything, let us know. We haven't forgotten anything, have we? And then there was one thing we forgot, but we got to it before they could ask because my wife was like, when we had our second guest check in and we already had one guest in the room, she's like, we should probably put keys, give them keys to their rooms, you know, so no one can just walk in the room. And we happened to buy the keys and locks, and the guest came down. She's like, oh, I was going to ask about those. And we got a good review, you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So it's about kind of understanding what you're missing. A great way to do that is look at other people's Airbnbs, you know?
Yeah. Big time. What do you stay at Airbnbs when you travel?
I haven't yet. That's the funny part.
Serious?
I haven't yet. No.
Oh, snap.
I haven't stayed in one Airbnb yet.
So I got more experience than you at something.
I guess.
Staying as a guest.
As a guest.
And that's crazy. You need to do it, man. It's the best. Yeah. It's the best.
So, like, what would you, as a guest, what do you look for? Like, you said you stayed in a private room, right?
Yeah, I stayed in a private room. That was in San Antonio.
What brought you to that room?
First off, it was the price, because I look for first my parameters or whatever filters. I want to find my own place. Of course, that's just me. I want to find our own spot, our own whatever apartment, condo, house, whatever. That's what I want first. But at that particular time, San Antonio, the prices were crazy. You know, to get your own space. It was too much for us, and so I found that place. And it had a pool. That's another thing. I like having a pool when I go to Airbnb because it's like a little vacation, you know. I like to jump in the pool, just go see the sights, and after the day's done, go jump in the pool. So I kind of put that on there too. And so this place was a private room, and it had a pool. So and I was like, well, seems cool. I'll try that. That I've never stayed in someone's house as their guest and rented out a room from them. I've always had our own spot. And so it went okay. And that was their first time to do Airbnb. And I told you that was the guest, you know, she ate some of my French fries. Yeah. It's just weird.
See, and that makes me think, because for the first time, maybe that's probably why she was all in your face. Like maybe she didn't know, you know what I mean? She might have been nervous.
Yeah, well, they just seemed really outgoing. They wanted to. They were just, and it was cool because like they would leave for us in the morning. Like the coffee was already like it was good coffee too. It was like 8 o'clock coffee, whatever, 8 a.m., whatever it's called. It was a good coffee, and they left it there with the filters ready to roll. You know, right in the morning, which I like that. We didn't have it in our room. We had to go downstairs to the kitchen. And they said, and help yourself to. We got snacks in the fridge. You know, I brought my 9-year-old with me, my 9-year-old daughter. Okay. And here we got like kids snacks too. And then they left us. I guess they got some little muffins from Kroger's or whatever. They left those there. So a little bit of the B&B in Airbnb, a bed and breakfast thing. And so that was cool. They were, like I said, they were nice, and they were just like very present. And I wasn't used to that. Yeah. And if I went and I would stay there again because now I kind of know them. At first it was a little awkward because I didn't know who they were. But if we stayed there again a few times, it'd be kind of like staying at friends, paying for it, but you're staying at your friend's house,
And, I actually had 3 people rebook with me, and people are more comfortable. Yeah, they'll rebook if they're more comfortable with you. We had 3 people. Matter of fact, the guy checking in next week, he stayed with us before, and he's like, hey, I'm coming back to town, and he looked us up. That's a good thing too. That's why I was telling people to be personable with the guests. You build a rapport with them, they'll come back and suggest other people for you.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So, that was my experience staying at someone's room. And, but I do prefer having my own spot. It's just cooler that way.
So the pool sold you.
And yeah,
the pool.
I that was our first experience. But when we were in Barcelona, I have friends in Barcelona, and his dad, actually my friends in Miami, but he works at American Airlines too.
Okay.
His dad has a place in a little town outside of Barcelona called Vilanova i la Geltrú.
Okay.
And so it's like a miniature version of Barcelona. It's the coolest place. I love the city. It's like my favorite city in the world so far.
Wow.
And we stay there for free.
Mm-hmm.
But we do, when we go to Barcelona, we want to go into the city and see all the sights and stuff. So we did that. And to do that one day, I did still record. I did. I did. We rented an Airbnb, and we didn't do nothing fancy. It was just me and my wife at that. Going, and so we rented out a room from this young couple. That's how it works in Barcelona. A lot of people rent out their rooms to get by, and the picture looked cool. Had a little bitty balcony and this and that, and pictures can be deceptive.
Oh man, you got hacked by the pictures, man.
It was a small room. The bed almost took up the whole room, right?
Yeah.
And really, really bare bones. I mean, it was a place to lay your head. And the balcony, you could barely step on out there. It was like nothing to. It was just like there, a little bitty space, and you look out, and on the other, it's just you're looking out at a building right next door. It was.
Now my question is, did they put that in the description?
They took pictures of
Did they put the description that it was small?
No, they didn't say that. They didn't say it was
really
a small
describe
balcony. They just took a really nice picture with the flowers in the balcony, and I guess the sun was hitting it just right, and it looked like a really cool balcony to sit out there and chill on. But you really couldn't because it was just like a little bitty extended. It looked like a nice balcony, but I mean the price was cheap.
Yeah, and you gotta So the cheap prices, see how you said the cheap prices, that kind of goes back into Airbnb smart pricing. They lower your price, you probably are going to get more bookings, you know what I mean?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't pay out as well. It's not good for you in the long term. Hey, I keep getting these cheap prices, then I'm turning over, having to clean up, spending more time, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're not getting nothing. So
and on their end, it was a young Spanish couple, and it was like just a 2-bedroom little apartment, right?
Yeah.
And with 1 bath. They didn't interact with us at all. They just said if we have a question, let them know. And they stayed off and then did their I'd walk to the living room to get to the bathroom or something. Yeah. And the guy, I guess the guy would be there and he'd be on his computer and kind of not even acknowledging me, kind of thing. Which felt to me, I guess that felt a little cold.
Yeah.
I guess maybe there's a sweet spot between being all up in the guest business or not acknowledging them at all.
Being all up in my grill and not acknowledging it all. Yeah. See, and that's kind of funny that's kind of how I am. Like, I won't acknowledge you. No, I'll acknowledge you. But I'm sometimes because to come into my house, you pass my office, then go up the stairs.
Right.
So I'm usually in my office. So when a guest walk by, I make sure that I greet them. Hey, how you doing? Things like that.
Everything good.
yeah. I'm not going to be all at your door and things like that. But it's good to, talk to them every time you see them.
Right. So maybe it was the culture thing or something. I just felt a little cold. Can I even go to the kitchen? I felt like it just felt like I was staying at. I didn't feel comfortable. Or what was it called? I wasn't welcomed. I guess. I didn't feel welcomed.
That good American welcome you wanted.
Yeah. Something like, hey, here's the kitchen. Get what you need. And they really didn't tell us. They just.
And I had a guest that was kind of like that because I was like, man, are we being rude or because she was just so in and out. She'd come in, when she come down the stairs, she'd be like, hi, going to work, bye. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm like, I hope she leaves us a good review. She actually left us a really good review, but she was just one of those guests. Hey, I'm just in and out. I don't want not got much to talk about. I'm trying to go to work. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think if you kind of describe yourself in your profile, that helps as well. I do go look at people's profiles after they request, you know, to see, hey, what are you outgoing? Are you sociable? What do you do? You know what I mean?
Right. That's cool. See, that's why I was asking you if you've stayed at other people's spots, and because I wanted to ask what you know, what's the coolest place you stayed at, or I can't ask that, but like where would you go and where would you stay? What kind of stuff? Like, I mean, I'm sure you've looked at listings, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is there some that stand out? Wow, that'd be cool to rent this spot.
Yeah, it's the ones with the swimming pools, hot tubs. I am going to get a hot tub. Me and my wife are getting a hot tub. Nice. That's the closest thing we can get to a swimming pool because it ain't going to fit.
Real quick, when you say hot tub, I was at Big Lots the other day. I know a lot of our fans, we got fans, our listeners, they know what Big Lots is, but they have these like inflatable hot tubs. You seen that?
No,
I don't know how good they are.
I haven't seen them.
But they were selling them there, and I think they were half price. They're like $150, and you get this inflatable hot tub, and it has jets and everything in it. And
really?
It looked pretty neat. I don't know if that'll... whatever. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Oh man, I mean, I'll check them out. Because the one we're looking at, it's like $2-3 grand. So
they get pretty high.
So, but I mean, you'll get it back. It's an investment. If
right.
Like that. But I look at the ones with hot tubs, pools, because what I like to do is I like to see what does this listing have that I don't have. And one good thing that I noticed that most listings don't have in my area, and what really attracted guests to my area, was the refrigerator and microwave. Yeah. Because I was looking at the guests, and I'm like, they have private rooms, but they're just giving them a bed. Right. So, like, that's why I think I've been getting a lot of hits in my neighborhood, because I gave them, you get my refrigerator, microwave, TV, Netflix, and the closets are pretty big closets, you know, ironing board, things like that. I look at the small amenities and how much time you put into it as a host. That's really going to tell you what kind of host they are as well. Right. How much time they put into it. Because like some of them, man, you'll see like a old sheet over a bed. Hey, here's a bed. Yeah. And like some people, they don't even clean their kitchen. They'll just take pictures and they're like, what in the world? Who would want to stay here? Like, one of them was a pool, but like the cleanliness, I looked at it, it had like a 4-star on the cleanliness, but then I looked at the list and I'm like, it's dirty in the pictures. It's like stuff's all over the counter, man. I'm like, come on, clean that, man. Mom taught you to clean up the house before you take pictures, man. You know?
And that's what I was getting at. The I just lost my thought. But anyways, what you were saying about like a dirty spot or whatever, I was thinking some people might just put a listing out there just to get that free $20 or whatever.
I've heard that, man.
and
I've heard that.
And there was a crazy one that I saw one time, and I was looking in for a spot in LA. And there was a place, I think it was in Compton, or it was something like that. And it said, and I think the headline was something like, your very own hood experience or something like that. I swear, dude. And it showed like a picture of an old dingy sofa, right, in the living room, and like a blanket strewn on it and a pillow, and the description was hilarious because you can see drive-bys and drug transactions right out your window.
You can do that for money.
You could get mugged, and it was like, and they were charging like $200. I mean, it was like a high price. Wow. But it was, I mean, I'm sure it was just something to throw on there to get the, but it was your very own hood experience.
Put a lot of thought in that for $20, man.
But I was laughing. I wonder if anyone stayed there. Oh, that sounds like a German. Oh, that sounds very cool. Let's go stay in the hood. Boys in the hood.
Let's go to the hood. But yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of listings. Like some people just don't take care of the listing, man. But that's really what because I can't tell you what I've looked for as a guest, but what I look for as a host to kind of compare to my listing, you know? Yeah. And that's why I was asking you, hey, what do you look for? Because I'm on the other end, so I want to know what people are looking for.
My own spot, first of all, swimming pool, and pricing, and of course pricing, because that's paramount. You got to have because I want to go somewhere for like for a week, and just not be. I want to go because I want to do things. I want to go out and explore and do things. It doesn't really, because I have friends that they only stay in the fanciest, high price, like $300 a night hotels. They just, for some reason, I think they stayed in one time and they loved it, and it's him and his wife and his 2 kids. and that's all they do, and they work for the airline too.
Yeah.
And they but they only go like for little vacations, like 2 or 3 days. Well, that's all they can afford to spend.
Yeah.
That's like $1,000 in 3 days, right?
Yeah.
And just for a hotel room. I'm the opposite. I'd rather go use that money to explore and check out the area.
And I think a lot of people, when they get those high-priced hotels, they're going for the service. You're going to be catered to in those hotels. But now that's where Airbnb comes in. You can pay half the price, and you get the same service. Yeah. And you get a full kitchen. You get everything you need. And I think that's where Airbnb's niche is.
But it's so locked in their head. They want that pampered hotel experience that I don't think they would even touch Airbnb, because
that's true.
There's still a little bit of a stigma, I guess.
Yeah, it still is. It's there.
But yeah, like I'd rather have that money to spend and go out to eat and enjoy myself for I'd rather be somewhere for a week than just a few days in a nice hotel with watching cable.
Yeah. And people tell you that on Airbnb, or they're really not there for this hotel. I'm here to go out of town. I'm here to travel, and that's how I notice with most of my guests. They're not really there to, hey, I'm sitting in my room watching Netflix. I'm trying to go travel, see your city. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why guidebooks are good as well.
Yeah. Me and my wife stayed at, I'm sorry, I keep going off on these stories.
No, go ahead, man.
Because we stayed at a bunch of Airbnbs. Yeah. But there's a lake in near Guadalajara, Mexico, called Lake Chapala.
Mm-hmm.
And this, and a lot of expats from Canada and U.S. go and retire there, and it's the biggest lake in Mexico, and it's huge, and they have a spot like close to the lake, and they have like a big house. It's like a compound, big giant walls going all the way around. It's a big house, and then they have these little cabanas out back, little casitas, little houses, and just little 1-bedroom little house, and it has your microwave in there. It has a little stove, and it has a coffee maker, your own bathroom, and it was really cool, really really cute little spot. And we went there, for our honeymoon, because we got married. We got married over 2 years ago, but because she's from Mexico, we did. When she got here from Mexico, we got married, did the whole immigration thing, and then the following year we went to do our church wedding in Mexico.
Okay.
So we said, well, we'd go, we always traveled anyways. We don't need to go somewhere. We'll go somewhere close to, because we're here in Guadalajara for a few weeks. So we stayed there at that place, and it was really cool. And the Canadian family, they're really nice. They were engaging, yet they didn't, overly, and they were just really cool people.
Yeah.
And they had a really nice swimming pool. Really nice swimming pool, and they had like this lush garden. And what's cool about Mexico, you can get cheap labor to maintain all those things. So he don't have to bust his hump. He had people there, doing the garden and doing they did, work on the pool, and he had an outdoor barbecue and all this stuff like that. It was really nice setup. And and they just decided to retire there and to help bring in a little bit of income. They built these built or restored these little there's 3 of these cabanas out back.
Okay.
And they just rent them out on Airbnb, and they make enough money to live well in Mexico.
How much do they rent them out for?
Man, I think when we rented them, it was around $60 a night.
Wow,
it's cheap.
Cheap, man.
Excuse me. Yeah. And no, we enjoyed ourselves, and he had a big house, and he invited me in there to play pool with him and some of his friends, And we played pool, and they had parrots and aquariums. I mean, it was it was a good experience. It was one of my best Airbnb experiences.
Funny you mentioned that. I'm getting a pool table's also what I want.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
Really good. That's a really good one. A pool table, man. I have enough room to do it too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put a pool table up there.
That's cool. I had one at my house in Arlington before.
Mm-hmm.
And I had sold it. I wasn't using it too much. The thing is, I got a foosball table too. So when my buddies came over, they just wanted to battle at foosball.
Yeah.
And so they would, don't you want to play pool? Let's play foosball.
Yeah.
That foosball was like $40 for that table. I bought it on Craigslist, and that pool table, it was cost like $1,000.
Yeah.
But that's what I was thinking when we were gonna move. I was like, I had all these plans to make that Arlington house the Airbnb house, and put a pool table in there, because I pictured all these people coming to town for football games and sports, whatever, Rangers. and they'd see that pool table. That's the centerpiece,
dude,
you know. Man, we'd go there, party, play pool.
Oh,
I'm cool with it because I did. I'm an artist. I did painting, drawing, stuff like that, and me and my wife. Well, but even before my wife, I would host art shows at the house in Arlington.
Really?
So we'd have big art shows, have a keg. We'd party. It was a party house.
Did you ever charge people for the art shows?
We didn't charge. We accepted donations for if they got a beer or some wine, we'd pour them and they'd give us a few bucks.
Yeah.
We made a little bit of money that way.
So you could have put that on Liquid Space, man.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh man, see, it's like Airbnb for space. Like if you have like a place you want to host, like let's say you want to host a home interior party in your living room. Yeah. You just have people, hey, here's how much I charge per hour for this room, and they come in there and they host it.
Nice.
My sister-in-law just held one for a Mary Kay where they were selling makeup and they paid her like $40 an hour, and I think the party was like 3 hours. She made quick money off that.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it existed, man. Liquid Space. I like it. Yeah. It's the share economy, dude.
Exactly,
I freaking love it, dude.
That's exactly what it is, man. That's where everything's going. That's
awesome. And you had mentioned before because you wanted to do some meetups.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, maybe we can. One of the ideas I threw out, we can rent an Airbnb from somebody in Central and do our meetup in an Airbnb
for the experience. The experience.
But that Liquid Space sounds like an even better idea. We could rent someone for an hour or 2 hours and have a meeting at a Liquid, whatever that is. And that would be pretty cool. I didn't even know it existed. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Liquid Space is pretty cool, man.
Nice.
People rent out boardrooms for $60 an hour, man.
That's cool.
With a projector. Yeah.
And so we so I was used to hosting parties and stuff like that. Art parties, we call it. Have music. My band would play. I was in a band too. So we would play, and other bands would come in and play, and I didn't mind it being a party house. It was like it was a single dude's. It was my bachelor pad back in the day, man. You know what I'm saying? And
everybody's had one of those, man.
And so that's what I foresaw when I would transition to a renting it out Airbnb. Yeah, was just keep the party atmosphere. I had some little Christmas lights around and put a pool table. Hey, people coming to town, they want to have fun. Yeah, party. That's cool. Just don't trash the place. But
Yeah.
And so, but that if you listen to episode 1, I didn't end up doing that. I just got long-term renters in there, and I kind of and they're good. But I want an Airbnb.
Yeah, everybody wants the Airbnb. It's more lucrative, man. It's just, and another thing about Airbnb, man, you meet a lot of cool people, especially if you're renting out your home. You meet some really cool people. Like I've met a lawyer, doctor, met a lot of cool people, man. A lot of cool
that's neat.
people.
That's neat.
Yeah, like an artist. I met one guy. He's an artist. He actually gave me tickets to his show. Another guy. I met 2 artists actually. One's a painter. The other one does music, and they both actually gave us free tickets to their shows. So
cool.
Yeah, get to meet a lot of cool people.
See, that's what I was kind of doing, letting artists come through and do a little bit of couch surfing before Airbnb was around. Or like maybe it was a little bit around. It wasn't too big.
That's how it got big.
But these local artists, singer-songwriter ladies would come through. That I met them at a show. I went and watched them perform, and they hit I just friended them on Facebook or whatever. Yeah. And they sent me a thing. Hey, we're gonna be in Dallas in a few weeks. You don't have an extra room we can stay in? I was like, yeah. I was like, and so that I did that to a few of the artists that would roll through. Yeah. And that was before the Airbnb stuff. And they told me, we usually do couch surfing or this and that. And I was thought about signing up to that website, but I like.
Hold on, what website?
It was I guess couchsurfers.com or there was a website about couch surfing.
Really?
Back in the day. I
didn't know that.
It's not. I don't think everybody's doing Airbnb now, but the concept before Airbnb was big was people would do couch surfing. You can just you go on the website. Hey, I'm going to Rome. Anybody got a couch I can sleep on? And they put it on there. But the thing is, you kind of have to put your place up too. It's like everybody puts you could just use other people's places without putting yours out, but you're kind of expected to also offer yours.
Yeah.
It's called couch surfing.
Yeah.
And there was it was a little bit popular with the bohemians and the artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then Airbnb kind of I don't think people talk
phased
about couch surfing anymore.
Yeah.
But so I did that a little bit. And if I would have stayed, that's why I wanted to, when Airbnb started becoming popular, I wanted to get into that. And then we moved, I got married and we moved houses and stuff. But yeah, it seems exciting, like a cool way to meet people. And
very
stuff
cool
like
way, man. And then like, you're just not meeting random people. You meet, the people are usually renting them out. They're, working class, have something going on, a lot of freelance people, freelance artists, things like that, man.
Right.
A lot of great people to have on your team.
So that kind of touches on a topic. We were, because you said pool table. You said you want to put a pool table, and I was thinking, and one of the topics I sent out was a coolest little way to improve your Airbnb, and I think a pool table would be great.
Pool tables, and another way is king size beds. I tell all people, man, if you have space for a king, get a king size bed,
right?
Because I'm upgrading to king size beds very soon. King size beds and the Wi-Fi locks. It's all types of things. Small amenities, man. A Keurig, so I can have coffee in the morning. Quick coffee. Boom, boom, in and out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I don't like Keurigs myself.
You know,
because I'm a coffee snob.
Yeah, I don't like them either. But some people like the ones who are like in and out.
Efficient. It's simple.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like to brew like a real nice cup of coffee, real slow. I do have an AeroPress, and it's
that's
like
how
a
my wife
process
is
for me. Yeah, I have to. It doesn't matter if I need coffee. If it's a crappy cup of coffee, I just can't drink it, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't always like that. Growing up Mexican, the grandma would make some coffee, and it would be tons of cream or tons of milk, tons of sugar, right? And that's how you drink sweet ass coffee.
Yeah.
It was when we're going off base again. But,
I know what you mean, man.
But when Starbucks started becoming popular, and I remember I was like, "Oh, what's all the hype?" And I got the Starbucks coffee, and I poured tons of cream, tons of sugar in it. I could never get it right, and then one time I just said, "Man, I'm just gonna try it black," and it was actually tasted good. I was like, "Wow, it's a good cup of coffee." And ever since then, I just drink coffee black. So, but good coffee. It got me on a whole, I guess, a little bit of coffee snob thing,
Yeah.
So Keurigs are cool. I mean, for a lot of people like them, and just pop the thing in there, and it's
I really
simple.
only like them for the hot chocolate and
okay.
I don't drink coffee. My wife's the same way. She loves coffee. She hates Keurigs. She wants to brew up some coffee in the morning, So, and then the funny thing is, not many people have even used the Keurig since we've had it. So,
really,
yeah, not many people have used it.
See, that's what I was thinking. I want to have a nice coffee whatever machine or a French press at the when I get my I'll say because I'm gonna get it.
You're gonna get it. Man.
They're gonna work that
up.
stuff out. But I want them to have. There's nothing worse than being in a spot and they don't got for a coffee lover. They don't have anything to make coffee with or no filters or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I want to have either a French press, AeroPress, something to make or a pour over thing so that they can make a nice cup of coffee. Even a little coffee machine if they don't want to do all that stuff,
Yeah.
And I was thinking like with the Keurigs or, those little pods are kind of pricey, right? A little bit.
Oh, the K-Cups?
K-Cups, yeah.
Oh, no, man. Amazon.
You get them cheap?
You can get them cheap on Amazon,
man. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just saw them. I just see them at Target or whatever for like, $10 for a pack of them or
Amazon's
whatever.
Crushing the retail, man. Crushing the retail. Yeah, go to Amazon. They get all that. Like, really, that's where I buy most of my stuff. Amazon.
Yeah, I love Amazon too.
Me too.
I love Amazon.
2-day shipping, free.
2-day free ship. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
And my buddy from Argentina, he comes to town here. Like he's gonna be here tomorrow for a day. He's gonna fly in because he works at American Airlines too.
Okay.
So he's gonna fly in the morning. He'll be here for the day, and he's gonna fly out to Argentina at night. I think right now he's in Mexico, so he travels a lot. But he ordered like 20 boxes of Amazon stuff because they don't have it in Argentina.
Wow. Okay.
So either they don't or the shipping is just stupid expensive because Argentina's all the way South Pole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So So when he's like, hey, I'm coming through. Is it cool if I order some Amazon stuff? I'm like, yeah, man, cool. So he ordered. I get all these damn boxes. I'm like, man, people think I'm a big baller or something in this neighborhood. Look at all that crap he's ordering.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I had like when I was first getting my Airbnb started, because we were buying everything off Amazon. I have like boxes on top of boxes waiting when I get home, man. Because they deliver the stuff same time. The 2-day shipping, it's there.
Yeah.
It's the convenience of Amazon.
And so. I was thinking, okay, so you've already answered that one for me. The K cups, those are cheap enough. If people are gonna leave, and throw them all in their bag, I won't be out too much money, right? If they do something.
Yeah, they would. And the funny thing is, most people don't even come into my kitchen or the main living room. So I'm starting to notice that. Like, I don't know if they're like not comfortable. The only time that I have people come into my main living room that they have is when I turn the TV on and like we were watching the game and like all the guests came out and we watched the game together. But other than that, they don't even really use the Keurig. A few of them used it, but they don't really use it. And I was thinking maybe I should put one in their room instead of in the kitchen. But my wife was completely against the room. She's like, if they spill that crap, I'm not cleaning the carpet. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. And another thing, on that end, like, do you like try to do the hotel thing, leave little soaps and leave little shampoos? Do you do that or no?
No, I leave the whole bottle.
Okay.
I leave my whole bottle. We were debating that. Should we leave the little soaps? I'm like, man, I hate those little soaps. I never use them. I'm serious, man. You can't wash anything with those soaps, man. Right. So we decided to go ahead and do the whole bottles. Get a whole bottle of soap, get a whole bottle of shampoo, whole bottle of conditioner. And then when you get out, you can dry off, and then you get little lotions and stuff. My wife, we just did this 2 days ago. Put all that stuff up, took pictures of it.
Okay.
Because my wife... That's one thing about Airbnb. You have to keep improving it. Keep on improving it. It's something you're missing, man.
Yeah. And, okay, how many... I've heard this on another podcast. How many towels per guest?
Like, okay, if 2 guests are coming, I'll give you 4 towels. So 2 for each. Now, depending on how long you stay, like if you're staying a month... Because, okay, I set it up so if you're staying 7 days, right? You're allowed to use my washer and dryer. If you're staying less than 7 days, you can't use the washer and dryer.
Okay.
So then I'll sometimes, let's say 2 people staying 5 days, I'll give them probably three or 4 towels each.
Okay.
So, and plus to kind of keep the water bill low. I don't want people, because the reason I had to change that rule is because we had like our second or third guest, dude was like washing one shirt every night because like he's like, yeah, this is my work shirt. I didn't bring any shirts. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Losing money.
Yeah, man, you're washing shirts every night, man. A shirt.
Go buy another shirt, man.
For real, man. So I was like, nah, man, we got to find a way. And the funny thing was, I searched someone else's Airbnb and I got that idea. He was like, you have to stay 7 days to use my washer and dryer. And I'm like, oh, we should do that.
Nice.
So
yeah, research.
Yeah.
The reason I was asking the towels thing is because I've heard that, and I've been guilty of it before too. Staying at hotels, you reach for a fresh towel every single time you shower, right?
Yep.
And so you use whatever they give you, you use them all up, and then they end up on the floor. They end up whatever. And
the thing about a hotel is, I think you do that because you're going into the bathroom to get your towel. So what I do is you just get a stack of towels in your room, in your closet, so you can't just keep reaching. You know what I mean?
Good idea.
Yeah.
It's a real good idea.
Yeah. So like the closet, I keep it decked out with stuff they'll need, extra towels, whatever. And I'd always tell them, hey, if you need extra towels, let me know. We'll hook you up. You know what I mean?
Cool. And on that end, also, do you leave or do you have welcome gifts for, because you, especially with your condo that you were renting at your B&B, do you leave like a bottle of champagne or some chocolates or candy?
My condo, me and my wife are leaving wine at the condo, and we actually stopped because one time we rented it out, and we think the guests were like teenagers. It was the guest that left the condo all messy, like food was everywhere, and they were like drinking the wine, and like they drunk it all, but then like they closed it up, they filled it with water, closed it up, and put it back where it was.
Oh no!
Like some like. Maybe they thought they weren't supposed to drink it, or they were underage. So I'm like, and then I started looking at other people's listings, and I started looking at biggerpockets, and they were all saying they used to do it too, and they don't do it anymore because you never know how old the people are. And
right.
I think Airbnb is against you, kind of discriminating against people's age. So Yeah. I'm going to start doing it again. Like, if I can look at you and I know you're over 21, I'll leave you some wine. But other than that, I don't leave any other gifts.
Because that's what I thought about doing with the South Padre condo, leaving a nice little welcome bottle of wine or something like that.
Yeah. But it'd be good, but just kind of screen people.
If you can... you can't. You said they don't allow age discriminate or like.
I think they're against like the age discrimination because I think when Airbnb first started, they got caught like someone called them out for discriminatory purposes. It was based on race or something. And so after that, they kind of changed everything like age, sex, all that crap. You can't discriminate against any of that.
Oh wow. Yeah,
because I remember when it first that was the Airbnb's first. I think that was the first controversy. I'm not sure, but it was at the beginning one of the first controversies.
Oh, okay.
So they nipped that in the bud real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm on the fence about it. I guess that there's liability. Stuff could happen.
I guess. Especially if they're underage. You don't want to be caught up in that.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just leaving really weak bottle of wine.
Yeah. Champagne. Champagne.
And because I don't know. I do want to, especially at first, do as much as I can to like get a buzz about my place, get people wanting to go there and stuff like that. And then just play it, see what they do use, what they don't use, stuff like that. And then, I guess plan accordingly. Because have you noticed that you've gone too far on stuff that people don't even, use?
Like the Keurig, they don't use it.
Yeah.
Microwave and refrigerator, they do use it. Like I was trying to fix something, and I looked in the refrigerator of one of my guests while I was fixing her outlet, and she like had it decked out, food everywhere. Yeah, so the refrigerators were a good thing because like no one else had them. I'm like, why doesn't anyone have fridges? Because I was like, make your listing as much like a hotel, but give them the hospitality and everything else that a hotel doesn't have. You know what I mean? Right. That's the extra towels, things like that.
Yeah. Huh. That's cool. Leave a Bible in the bedside.
Oh, I gotta do that one, huh?
Or whatever people want to
leave a Quran in there.
Whatever that people want. Don't discriminate. Leave every single holy book that's ever been written.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool, man. It's just a learning process, right?
Yeah. It's a learning process, man. And, trial and error.
Now I'm gonna ask you this question because when we were at dinner the other day, you were getting hit up a little bit on your Airbnb, right?
Okay.
And the question that I was thinking is this a job? Is this an investment or a little of both?
A little of both.
Yeah.
It's definitely a job because you do have to be ready to respond at all times. Like when we're at dinner, we're getting hit up and we kind of got to respond to the people. I think once you get big enough, you can outsource it, like have someone else do the response for you. Like if you want to do the property management thing.
Yeah.
But it is an investment because, hey, I'm renting out my personal home and I can use that on my mortgage. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a guy just tried to book for a month. His booking for the month would have covered my entire mortgage. So it's an investment. You kind of have to look at it as an investment. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it does require work. Definitely does require work.
And so I guess I heard something on a podcast the other day. My buddy makes fun of me because he's an older guy, old school guy. He's real cool, my buddy Dave. And he and I was like, hey man, I'll tell him about Bigger Pockets. Of course, I even send him, forward him the episodes of the Bigger Pockets show. I think that's one of my favorites. Yeah. And he's doing house flipping, so he could really use this. He could, especially the connections and stuff like that. Because he'll have stuff going on, and I'll throw it on the forums. I'll throw it out there, and I get him all these answers and stuff like that for him. I don't know why he won't get on there. He's just old school. Yeah. And so I was telling him something about another podcast I listened to, or I was telling him something I heard. He goes, "Oh, what? Did you hear that from a podcast?"
Yeah, kind of like.
Well, yeah.
That's throwing that out.
That's where I get all my stuff from, man.
Yeah, it takes some older people a while to come around. You know what I mean?
And he has an iPhone, so it's easy to get access to him. I told him how to use it and stuff like that.
A lot of people are still in that old school way of, I want to do it myself, learn that way. When you have a lot of, in today's world, man, the answers are right in front of you, man. You could just connect with people, like me and you. We connected on Bigger Pockets. Boom. Now we're making a podcast.
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll make $1 million.
Exactly. There you go. We're on our way.
But what I was getting at was a thing I heard on I guess either I heard it or read it on the forum. I don't know. It's all a blur now. Yeah. But it was someone said that, you know what they say, the definition of entrepreneur. Have you heard that one?
No.
The definition it's someone that works 100 hours so they won't have to work 40 hours. And I thought about like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a simple statement. It has some truth to it, but at the same time, you might be doing 100 hours of something you love.
Exactly.
To avoid doing 40 hours of something that you just hate.
Exactly. If you do 40 hours something you hate, like even my daytime job, because I'm a network engineer by day, I don't really hate it, but I really like doing Airbnb more. You know, I love getting the notifications on your phone. Hey, see if this person stay. You know what I mean? Talking to people. I actually love it. You know, I enjoy it more than my job, but my job's kind of not really my passion, but it's what I'm good at. I've been doing it since I was little. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but plus, I mean, initially you might be doing the 100-hour weeks, but eventually you're trying to build your business where it'll, run itself.
Yeah. Let money work for you, man.
Exactly. So, I always thought it's a cool quote, but it's kind of a half truth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Oh, another thing. There's so many topics.
Yeah, we got so many topics on there, man.
And I wrote most of them, just by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. That's why he's the host, man.
What's it call it? Negotiate with potential renters. I've done this approach on the renting end. I mean, even if they say no, well, I always figure, what's the worst they can say is no. Hey, especially if it's getting close to the time we're going to go travel somewhere. Yeah. I think in my head that the host will say, oh, okay, well, I don't have a renter coming up in a week and these people want to rent it, but they're asking for, hey, can y'all offering any discounts or deals for me, and just to see if they can give me something. And a lot of times they do. They'll give me, either they won't charge a cleaning fee. That's the popular one. A lot of them will say, oh, okay, if you rent next week, we'll knock off the cleaning fee, that's good. Yeah. That's $25 or $50 or whatever. Or they'll maybe knock it down a few bucks. But most of them say, no, I can't really budge on the price. Blah, blah, blah. That's a good price already. And I'm cool with it. And either I will rent it or I won't. I'll always ask. I don't know if that's annoying for a host or how do you react to that?
It really depends. On my main properties, like the ones I own, like my condo and my house, if you ask for a price reduction, I'm most likely going to say no. Right. Only because I don't charge any cleaning fees. Right. I don't charge a cleaning fee. It's all zeroed out. I charge my cleaning fee within my base price. Some people don't like doing that, and some people do. Yeah. Now, my timeshares, I will sometimes come down. I will, because I know those are highly priced. It depends on my profit margin. If the profit's too low, I'm like, no, I'm not going to. But if it's enough, like, if I'm going to make $100 off this, I'll bring it down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it just depends.
Depends on the property. Yeah. Okay. And because it seems like, am I pissing these people off? I always think that, but it doesn't hurt to ask. I just think some
people in the response you get will tell you how good of a host they are. You know what I mean? Right. Because I can remember like Josh Dorkin on the Bigger Pockets was it Josh or Brandon? I can't remember which one. Yeah. The one with Deanna McIntyre. He said he had his property listed on Airbnb. And, like, the guy asked him, hey, man, how far is the transportation bus or something?
Oh, what's the bus schedule?
Yeah, and he told him, hey, go Google it. I'm like, you don't tell the guest that, man. And so the guest was like, well, I'm going to go find a Superhost and cancel this booking. You know, and I'm like, yeah, man, you're in the hospitality business. As I was saying earlier, you're not a landlord anymore.
He has the landlord mentality.
Yeah, he has the landlord mentality.
Like, why are they asking me all these?
Yeah. And so, I mean, to me,
I don't want to send him. Here's a link, so that I mean,
that's the thing.
He was annoyed.
You can't send links through Airbnb.
Well, once y'all. Oh. So he was asking before he even rented the place.
Booked. But okay. I mean,
but if you book, then you got direct contact.
Yeah. See, because if you ask about a price, of course you're asking that before you book. Now, one thing that it's not really annoying, but it's like long draining process when they ask like 50 questions about the listing. That's in the description. It's like people don't read, man. It's like one lady. What did she ask? She asked like some super long drawn out question, man. And I was just like, oh my God. And my wife was like, are you getting sick of this? I'm like, Yeah, because she just kept asking question after question. So what does the room look like? I'm like, it's in the picture. What do you mean? What does it look like? And I'm like, oh my God, man, it was just annoying. Like, some people just have question on top of question on top of question. So will you be at the home? Are we gonna be safe there? Or you it's like, come on, man. But yeah, it's some things that are dragged out. It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, some people are like that, dude.
Yeah.
But it's just part of it, right?
Yeah, it's part of it.
Like you did say, we're in the hospitality business.
Exactly. You have to remember that.
It's a change. You got to change your mind, because most of our lives we were the ones renting hotel rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like
there
that.
You go.
We got to flip that around, and it takes.
Exactly, and that's really why they're getting away from the hotel business. They're like, hey, I don't want a hotel. I want to be catered to. I want someone's space. You know.
Yeah.
More homey feel.
One. They're all really good topics, by the way, that I wrote.
Really good topics.
Let's do one of your topics. Who are we? What do we do? Okay, we talked about that in the last one. Okay. It sounds weird, but like a barbecue pit. Now it might not affect. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. With the condo, you can't really put a barbecue pit on the balcony, right?
No.
They let me and I read the rules and regulations of the South Padre condo. I can have a barbecue thing out there, but it has to be gas. It can't be charcoal.
Okay.
Which sounds weird that they're going to let me anyways, but that's part of their bylaws. I can put a gas. And I was thinking that'd be a cool perk for people that come in. You know, they want to cook out and stuff like that. But then I'm thinking, man, is that worth it? That's gonna be a big mess, I would think.
I put a grill out there. I put a grill on my patio because I just uploaded the patio a couple weeks ago, and I put the grill for them to use. No one's used it yet. I think it's a good perk. It's a good perk. I think it's going to drive more people. You know, but I noticed like the common areas though, people don't ever use them. I mean, but I've only had it up for 2 weeks, so maybe someone will want a grill. And I do tell them, hey, you're allowed to use the grill, kitchen, whatever you want.
Now, one I think that might work is you seen the George Foreman the big grill.
Yeah.
That might be less of a mess and less dangerous. I don't
less liability
dealing with butane and stuff. I'm like,
that's what I was wondering. They said gas.
Yeah, they said they allow gas. Yeah, but what if some grease gets in there and boom, fire? You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's on you. You know what I mean?
But throw a George Foreman grill. It looks like a grill. The George Foreman one, and then they can cook on it. And it's not exactly a grill, but it's close. Yeah. You know.
But I try to keep like a barbecue setting, like any type of friendly common spaces. Those are always pretty cool, man. Yeah. Anything that helps the listing.
Let's do one. We're already approaching an hour mark. Want to do one more topic, and then whatever we do. This is a new show still, so we don't have like, hey, fire round or whatever. I don't know. I won't ask this one. I was gonna ask the 420 friendly one, but I don't want to get it out there, or unless you want to ask the 420 friendly one.
Yeah. Is the place 420 friendly? My thing's this: I tell people you can't smoke in the house, but you can smoke in the backyard. I tested out listing my room on Roomster, and Roomster's kind of more hippie-ish. So like a dude asked me, hey, I'm a software engineer. I'm looking for a 420 environment. And I gave him the list to my Airbnb.
That was a hilarious listing.
Yeah, that was there.
And he said, I enjoy scotch and blues. He was like,
scotch, booze, and 420. I'm like, what, man? But
I told you, that could have been a good bro of mine in college, man. Yeah. We'd have got along good.
Because like when I showed it to my wife, she just cracked up laughing. She's like, this guy might be fun. Let's just send him the listing. I'm like, of course, So he's like, I know you probably don't want smoking in the house, but I'm all cool with the outdoors. So I'm like,
oh man, Roomster. That's another thing I need to check out. I need to just get on that.
That's another thing about people promoting their Airbnbs. Definitely try promoting on Roomster and Craigslist, and attach your Airbnb listing to it, man. It's another way to get it out.
Cool. So, yeah, put it on everything you can put it on, right?
Yeah,
just get it out
everything
there.
You can think of.
Sweet. I think that was a good show. I mean, we're just freestyling here, flowing. Whatever comes up, we talk about, and hopefully, it helps you guys out. I don't know how much substance we actually throwing out there, but we're just talking about our own experiences, and it would be great to hear from you guys. We appreciate you listening to our little budding, brand new little Airbnb show. And the title is Live, Let, Thrive.
Yeah.
So good show, man.
Yeah, definitely good show. Send us those questions.
Yeah, and my email is chesartandrock@gmail.com. That's CHESARTANDROCK@gmail.com.
All right. I'll get another email address for you guys next episode. All
right. Well, I guess we're, I don't want to say signing off. That's what they say on Bigger Pockets. Or I said peace out last time. That sounded cheesy.
We're adios. Yeah, adios.
Hasta la vista.
Deuces.
Whatever. You've heard a million. I'm sure y'all have heard a million podcasts. So whatever. Hey, maybe we could put it like a little thing they can vote on what our sign off would be.
Yeah, good sign off.
Yeah. So, adios, muchachos.
Deuces.